unnecessary intro song to totally waste your time.
You know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say because you already read it on the cassette tape. Or maybe you didn't. Actually, I take that back. You might just be listening to this passively as a podcast as you drive. As you drive to work. So, let me just come out and say it. Tattoos are dumb. They are. For idiots. Weirdos. What could be more stupid than a tattoo? Marking yourself. Trying to individuate yourself from the herd. That's dumb. You want to blend in, you know? You don't need any extra attention. What the fuck do you need attention for? Are you some kind of attention-starved animal? What do you need, love? Huh? Affection? What's your problem, weirdo? You just want attention. Because you're dumb. Tattoos are dumb. They're for idiots. You know, I have a bunch of tattoos. I got my first tattoo when I was 40. When I turned 40 years old. I can't believe that seems like yesterday, but it's been 12 years. My tattoos are 12 years old. My first one. You know what it says? It says first. Ha ha! My first tattoo says first. My second tattoo says second. Boy, am I clever. My third tattoo says random, because it's a random tattoo. My fourth tattoo says matching, because it's a matching tattoo. And it really is a matching tattoo. My only offspring has the other one. And it was actually her idea. I think. I'm pretty sure she's the one that thought of matching tattoo. I thought that was clever, so I got that. And then I got fun on my little knuckles and with 2 exclamation points on my other little knuckles on my other hand. And when you interlace them around, say, a beer bottle, they spell fun with 2 U's and 2 N's and exclamation points. And that was when I was drinking and committed to having fun. I want to have fun. I still believe in fun, by the way. I just don't drink anymore. And then my other tattoos, I'm talking about me now, because this podcast is about me and my opinions. Okay? You knew that, though, right? And then, so I play piano out of my van, and I was playing in L.A., and a Facebook friend of mine invited me over to play in front of his tattoo shop, and I did. And guess what? He came out and offered me a free tattoo. And so I got more tattoos. And I've been thinking about this for a long time. I got on my big knuckles, I got on one hand this, and on the other hand that. And then on one hand, I got on the back of my hand, it says one, and on the back of my other hand, it says other. So on the one hand, you have this, and on the other hand, you have that. Because I'm an idiot. That's why I got those tattoos. Because I'm a dumb idiot. And I will be an idiot for the rest of my life. I know that. I know that because I'm smart enough to understand that no matter what I do, I will never be able to have all the knowledge there is to be had. So yeah, back to tattoos. They are dumb. I was I remember watching his program a little while ago, a YouTube video, or maybe it was an article, I can't remember, because I'm dumb, remember? But did you know they couldn't figure out what zebra stripes are for? And of course, nobody really knows because nobody is alive to answer questions about why they were invented or how they were invented or if they were invented or if they just came up out of the mud. But the theory is that a zebra's stripes are not meant to camouflage them in nature. For a long time, people thought, well, maybe lions can't distinguish colors well, and maybe there's sticks pointing up out of the ground. No. What they think, and this seems like a pretty rational explanation, is that the stripes are meant to camouflage them against the herd. Kind of a wuss move, right? It's kind of like to confuse a predator. Like, all these stripes are running around. Oh shit, which one was I following? They don't remember which one they were following. Basically, it's nature's way of saying, not me, get him. Not me, get that guy. He looks just like me. Disappearing into the herd. It's kind of cowardly camouflage if you think about it. I mean, that's why tattoos are dumb. They identify you. Oh, and now one more thing to put on the police blotter. Andy has a tattoo. That's definitely him. Nobody else has one hand this, the other hand that. Definitely it's Merkley. Oh, and he's got first on his left and second on his right. Or the other way around. Easily identified. Dumb. Not blending in. It's dumb. Everybody that is good is dumb as far as I'm concerned. Like everything that all the people I admire have been idiots that don't blend in at all. Dummies who stick their neck out to be identified. All my favorite artists, inventors, thinkers. Hell, even at a local level, firemen, dumb. Why would you run into a burning house, you idiot? Why would you be different than everybody else? Why would you be less cowardly, you dummy? You could just blend in. You could just have a peaceful little life, blending into the herd. Never having to answer questions. Just when people's eyes move across the masses, they just skip right over you because, well, you look just like everybody else. No distinguishing characteristics. Your hairdo is your standard issue of, standard trend of the day. You watch Queer Eye for the straight guy, and so you know how to put an outfit together to have safety. To be safe, to not fall under the critical eye, the critical queer eye with the biting insults. No, that show, oh man, let me tell you how much that show used to bother me. I haven't watched the new version, but I used to think it was insane that they would take these people with character and turn them into these Gap sales clerks or Old Navy spokespeople. Used to just, I hated it so badly that they were stripping people of their character. Oh, just makes me so. And not only that, but just think of how bad the premise of that show is. Queer Eye for the straight guy. Almost always the straight guy had a wife and kids. And they're the ones that put him up for it. So in other words, straight guy is actually successfully, demonstrably showing that he is successful at being straight. In other words, has a mate, has children. So what? You get some gay people who have no interest in women, no interest in reproduction, telling this guy that his success is his that he has successfully mated is somehow flawed. It's just the premise is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But it reminds me of when I first moved to San Francisco. I thought it'd be fun to do another. This is way before that show, but I always thought, what it would be fun to be a straight drag queen consultant. You know, if the idea was to be passable, which it is for a lot of people, not all, but you'd want a straight guy's opinion. Yeah, you pass. You give me a boner. You drag queen. You pass as a beautiful woman. Anyway, I digress. I hate it when people say that, by the way. I never even really know what it means, because tangents are part of conversation, right? It's not that we're having a conversation. I'm just talking about tattoos. Anyway, most of the girls I've ever dated have had tattoos. I've always liked tattoos ever since I was a kid. And I really like the bravery of a tattoo. Bravery in its stupidity, for sure. But I also get upset when people have tattoos removed. And it kind of bums me out when I see these really pro-tattoo people having tattoos removed. And for me, it's just like erasing the history of an old item. You know, like when you find an old watch and you destroy all of the patina and make it brand new. I'm like, why are you erasing the history? You know, why would you try to appeal to actual stupid people? In other words, judgmental people who think they're better than you. No, I mean, you leave your tattoos from when you're a kid. You know, it shows your growth. It shows how you've changed. You know, say you've got a Sublime tattoo or a Blink 182 tattoo. It's like, fine, I used to be a kid. We all know that. You know, but what fun it is to be able to look at somebody and go, oh yeah, you too, huh? I mean, it's really kind of a magnanimous kind of a thing to do, tattooing. Especially when you're young, you know, get started young, because it's like how quickly, you know, how easily identified are people later on in life when you go, oh, there's one of my people. Oh, look at that. He's got a Blink 182 tattoo. I hate that band. I'm going to stay away from him. Or I always hated him, you know, or I always loved him, you know. Oh, man, I love him too. Look at me. I've got one too, you know. What a fun, honest way to get to know somebody or to filter them out. If nothing more, just the honesty that comes with self-expression. You know, it's really kind of, that's why people arguing against them would say they were dumb. You know, because, oh, you can't take it back. Yeah, good. Why would I want to? It drives me crazy when people try to pretend that they haven't grown, or that they haven't changed, or that they don't have scars. Who are you fooling? We know that you have gone through life changing. Well, hopefully, maybe not, I don't know. Maybe some people just don't ever grow or change. I suppose that might be true. But I think part of that is the attitude of not being expressive, of blending in. I think the habitual blender inners are the ones that probably don't change as much as the people who, like Howard Stern, the people, the school of loud mouthery is what I call it. You put yourself out there, you get knocked around, and you learn, and you grow, and you change, and you evolve. But why would you want to cover up that history? Isn't it more wonderful to show, to display your growth? You know, isn't that a better thing to do in life? You know, we have this tendency. There's an idiom that we use a lot of times, like, I've always thought that. I've always thought that, and then we fill in that blank with something you just learned last week. You know? No, you haven't always thought that. You've thought that for a week. How about some humility? How about, you know what I learned last week? I learned this. Or you know what? I no longer like this. I've changed my mind. But here it is. Here's the scar of how I used to be. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Sure, it's dumb if you're trying to trick people. If you are trying to fool people, any act of bravery is dumb. Any act of honesty is dumb if you are trying to deceive people. But if you're being honest, if you're being a human being, and you're trying to get along with people, you might be honest about your feelings. You might create some art. You might dress up. You might look for attention. You might look for love. I don't know. I'm preaching because I'm a preacher. I've learned to accept that about myself. That's one thing that started when I was very young and hasn't changed. Maybe it will be. I know I often feel like, fading off into the background, take the heat off, just have some peace, not argue with people. But I don't think it's in my blood. I don't think it's in my DNA. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I could do it if I wanted to. I haven't been able to so far. I doubt things are going to change much in the future. Who knows, though? Who knows? Maybe I'll go out and get a tattoo about what I think right now. And then in 10 years, somebody can call me an idiot after I've changed my mind. Anyway, thanks for listening.